in Qatar earlier before my contract ends? Yes, the labor law allows you to resign without completing your contract. However, yes, are you planning to resign from your job in Qatar before your contract ends? Depending on which kind of scenario. Yes, resigning from your job, you may be unhappy with your jobs, or you've got what you call career, or you need to move on to another career. Yes, it's allowed. You can resign before your contract ends or before your agreed contract with your employer or your company ends. However, there are a few things that definitely, as an individual, if you are planning to resign, that definitely should know as an individual. By the way, is it your first time to come across Mexcreationtv? Don't hesitate to give him a subscribe. Don't hesitate to give me a subscribe. Don't hesitate to follow him on his TikTok account as well as Instagram and Facebook account for more of these very important tips. Yes, in today's video, I want to explain what happens if you resign earlier before your contract ends. What are your entitlements? What does the law say? Yes, when we look at resigning in Qatar before the contract ends, according to the law, you are allowed to resign and move on. Let's say, for example, you got a new career, or you're planning to exit to go out of the country. You are planning to switch job, to go to another job. Yes, you are allowed to resign. However, a few things legally must be followed for you in order not to follow in what you call, not to contemplate yourself with what we call the law. Yes, let us try to look at the requirement number 1, which is called the notice period. Yes, according to the law, you must serve a notice period, or you must resign in, it can be a handover, it can be a written resignation, but that resignation letter or that resignation letter that you address to your human resource or to your company should include what we call a notice period. This notice period is going to depend on how long you've worked with that company. Yes, most of us, or most of you, you are in company for 1 year, you're in company for 2 years, you're in company for 10 years, you're in company for 15 years. Yes, according to the law, each of that category has a required notice period that you're supposed to give. If you are below 1 year, you give a 2 weeks notice period. If you are above 1 year, above 1 year but less than 2 years, then probably you give a 1 month notice period. If you're above 2 years, then definitely you'll have to give a 2 month, 2 years and 5 years and above, you must give a notice period of what we call 2 months. That is what we call the notice period. After serving the notice period, you definitely need to hand over in the right procedure until then you'll be cleared up to go off. What happens if I break the contract? I do not hand over, I do not serve the notice period. Yes, if you resign and you do not serve the notice period according to the contract that you signed with that company, with that employer has the right not to pay your benefits, not to pay you the pending salary, not to pay your gratuity, meaning that your benefits may be withheld, and he has a right to complain against you in the ministry or file a complaint against you. So you should be very careful as you are planning to resign. Note that the implications of you not serving the agreed notice period may lead to you not getting or not receiving your benefits in that due. What about if I resign in a normal way? And what about if I resign, I serve the notice period, I hand over all what is required according to this scenario? Then definitely if you resign, you'll be entitled to payment of your end of service gratuity, you'll be entitled to payment of your pending salary, and also unutilized annual leave you'll be entitled to its payment. That is according to what we call the labor law. However, something that you need to understand, is that most of these, they are risks if you tentatively tend to resign before your contract ends. Most of us, when we come to these jobs, there are contracts that are being given to us, and under those contracts or in those contracts, as we are signing, there are what you call clauses. There are a clause inside. Most of the very important clauses, most of you've not taken so much time to read and understand, is that when you resign before the end of the contract, you'll be the one to pay the pending period of the contract to your employer. So most of you've been caught into card tricks, or you've been caught off guard in those kind of scenarios because you do not know what are those clauses that you sign as you are entering that contract with that company or with that employer. So this, in very important places, in very important situations, every time I keep on reminding, read the contract, understand the contract. Yes, but well, in short, what I need to let you know that you can resign. However, resigning in Qatar, or resigning from your employer, or resigning from your sponsor, you must follow the steps legally such that you are not caught off guard, yes, in that situation. Hope I've tried to share something for you. Hope I've tried to share something very useful for you, for a person who's planning to resign from that company to move to a new career. Thank you so much. Remember, it's always Mex from the Mexcreationtv, trying to give you a guide living in Qatar. Most of the benefit, simple, tactical, simple steps of the law, and definitely what you'll understand and what will help you live in this Gulf country without falling into trouble. Thank you so much. See you again in the next video. Remember, it's always